Assalamu alaikum. You're watching the Scoreboard. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz, coming to you live from our Islamabad studios of Pakistan TV. Let's take a look at our top stories and what we're discussing on the show today. We start off with Pakistan Shaheens' tremendous victory against Bangladesh A in the Rising Stars Asia Cup, and they were absolutely clinical on a night of cricket when it mattered the most as well. Fantastic scenes were seen as they lifted the trophy as well, being led by Irfan Khan Niazi. But what a moment. The match went to a super over, the kind of final that you expect from a final as well. So I think the crowd was treated to a galore, a super over that went right down to the wire as well, and I think a fantastic performance by Pakistan Shaheens. Then we move on to football, and we have to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, who continues to defy everything that is thrown at him as well. We talk about the Saudi Pro League in detail, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Al Nassr, scoring a dramatic bicycle overhead kick in their 4-1 victory against Al Khalij as well. I think that was fantastic that we talk about this game as well. And then of course we move on and we discuss the fact that the veteran has now reached 954 career goals. So I think that was also something fantastic. Then great news for Pakistan across sports. Pakistan has also won the IBSF Snooker World Championship in the team event as well. Pakistan's Mohammad Asif and Ashraf Iqbal won this championship together as they beat Hong Kong China 3-2 in the final. They came from a deficit of 2-1. So both of them were absolutely superb, and congratulations to Asif, to Ashraf and to Pakistan at the end. Were champions of the team snooker event. And of course this final frame score went 104-0. So they were as clinical. This win adds to Asif's already stellar career with his 7th world title, combining team and individual titles as well. So congratulations to them. Then we move on to the Premier League, where Ize's hat-trick has gotten Arsenal two winning ways against Tottenham, and they were absolutely brilliant, 4-1. And of course I think elsewhere Aston Villa beat Leeds 2-1 as well, entering the top 4. So a bit about the Premier League we'll be discussing in detail. Then we move on to the Davis Cup. Italy has won the Davis Cup for a 3rd time in a row. Matteo Berrettini and Caboli defeated the Spanish opponents and have now enjoyed victory for the 3rd consecutive time as well. Absolutely brilliant, the Italians, even though they were without Jannik Sinner, but they managed to pull off this as well. Alcaraz and Sinner both absent in the final, of course took a bit away, but then again, I think should give credit to the Italians, especially Matteo Berrettini and Caboli, the way they played. They were absolutely brilliant. Then we talk about the Tri-Series, Pakistan beating Zimbabwe, and I think the highlight of that game was Babar Azam's stunning comeback once again, Sahibzada Farhan's innings, but Usman Khan getting his hat-trick as well. That is something that you don't see every day. Sri Lanka, of course, will now be facing Zimbabwe in their final game. Zimbabwe would be a touch disappointed, but I think Pakistan is through to the final now. So both teams, again, Zimbabwe pretty much the favorites to make it to the final as well. Then we talk about Lewis Hamilton. His struggle at Ferrari continues in the Formula One season. And the fact is that he's called it the worst ever season. He's been frustrated. He's been absolutely dejected. And I think it was bound to happen as well. He seems not happy with some of the dynamics and the technicalities going into the team as well. And I think, fate is something that he is relying on heavily right now. But as far as the technicalities are concerned, there's nothing really happening for Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari at the moment. That's what we're discussing. Time now to discuss things in detail. Of course, we start off with cricket. Joining us in studios is first-class cricketer and expert Kashif Majeed. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you?
I'm perfectly all right.
Kashif, tremendous victory. I mean, although I was a bit disappointed it had to go to the super over, because we should have had them when we got them 7 down. But in the end, I think it was worthy of a final.
I guess every corner, every box ticked when we talk about this final, because super over, final of the Rising Asia Cup, all those youngsters taste the finals glory, and they are the champions. And becoming a champion, not an easy path they followed. So most probably for me, it's in every box tick for them. Yes, people do talk about low score batting first, but the wicket was not easy, ball was not coming on to bat. We could have done more, but Ripon in the second last over, took 3 wickets, and that is it for us. Because at that point, I was thinking that 140 can be on the cards, because Shahid Aziz was there, and I guess Saad was there. So most probably, I was thinking that, but in 1 hour he took both of them, and then most probably Ubaid was got out. So this is where Pakistan lost the plot. Eventually, they came back through their bowling, and then Bangladesh took turn. So it was a good final. And
But I think we will be talking about Pakistan, Shaheens, but I think for me personally, Bangladesh, I'm really happy for them. I think they should be very proud. I see the next generation of Bangladeshi cricketers very, very talented.
can I say I don't think
Otherwise,
so?
I knew this is going to come. Particularly, Ripon, I'm talking about it.
Yeah, he was good. But we've seen Bangladesh winning under 19 World Cup or under 19 Asia Cup, beating India, and that was that heated discussion and everything was on social media. Where were those guys? We couldn't find them because from youngster to the polished player in an international senior cricket, that link is missing in Bangladesh. So does in Pakistan. Because while talking and giving you this statement, I think of Ali Abbas versus Shubman Gill. There is a link missing when we talk about Bangladesh or Pakistan. We are always there when it comes to under 19 World Cups or the youngsters or age group categories. We are just always there. We have won much more in the age group categories than in the senior category. So I guess how to polish a player, how to nurture a player from the younger age to the senior age, that is something missing from Bangladesh entirely.
The pathway really needs to be followed as well. I think we will be discussing this in detail with Kashif, that how these players now need to be managed as far as their careers are concerned. Now joining us on the scoreboard is our sports correspondent and writer, of course, Brashna who joins us. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the scoreboard. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you, Hamid. I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, Brashna. Thank you for joining us. I mean, tremendous scenes that came from Doha, an absolute tremendous victory, and a final worthy of a final went really down to the wire with a super over. What would you like to say about the game?
I absolutely love, I'm a huge fan of close scoring thrillers, and if anything, the Rising Stars final was that at its finest. I'm even more glad that Pakistan was at the end of, receiving end of the winning the trophy. So it was definitely one of the really, really great games. We had a few mini heart attacks, I think, as we all do as Pakistan fans, but it was a great, great game. Absolutely loved the performance from our spinners, especially. I think they put on a great fight, the way they defended the target, because it was a very short target, very, very small target. So I feel that we need to appreciate likes of Sufyan Makeen and Ahmed Daniel, the way they stepped up in this critical game needs to be appreciated, and it was a tremendous game to watch.
Well, some of these players now are being talked about, not just in Pakistan, but around the world. Cricket experts are talking about them. Pakistanis are a bit more emotional. They think some of them should be drafted immediately into the team and for the T20 World Cup. But we all understand that premature selection has already cost Pakistan many young players. How would you think we should manage this now?
I feel about premature selection, I think that argument goes well if you have a good, stable system in place. Unfortunately, when it comes to Pakistan cricket, like previously we've seen, there have been many premature selections because there is a reason for that, and that is there is a requirement in the national selection. Even now, if you look at the current team, we're always looking for example, middle order batsmen. So some fans would argue that, okay, let's have Masadakat bring in him, right? Because he's in a tremendous good form. So yeah, I feel like we should avoid premature selections, but we should also make sure that these performances do not go unnoticed, because I think the way they've played is really good. And it also puts healthy competition and healthy pressure to the national team players as well, that, okay, the youngsters are performing, they are ready to take your spot. So you need to do better, and we need that. We always, I think any country, any team needs a setup where players do feel not threatened, but in a way that they feel more competitive, that okay, they have to earn their spot. So yeah, I feel like I wouldn't suggest that we should bring in these youngsters directly for the World Cup, because that wouldn't be fair to them. We can't put a youngster like
how would you find something very interesting now, and that is that there's been a lot of talk in the past couple of years of having modern day cricketers. Right now, the mantra of selection for the Pakistan team right now seems to be that we need all-rounders. We need utility cricketers who are equally good with the bat, the ball, and especially gun fielders. Then, they've got the ability to clear the fence and play that modern style of cricket. We see that in Masadakat. We see that in the likes of Saad Masood, who I think is going to be exceptional. Ahmed Daniel, Sufyan Mukim, some of these have already represented the Pakistan senior side. So, all that talk, there have been certain people who have been claiming that we don't see talent and they like to, put all the blame game on the domestic structure. But now immediately we've seen tremendous amount of talent. How would you define this?
Yeah, I feel like, and also how we are going to polish this talent further. So if you put these players in front of teams like Australia and England in South Africa directly, I think that would be unfair to them because they still need more exposure, right? So what Pakistan cricket needs to do is they need to invest more in Pakistan A or Shaheens store for other, SENA countries, for example, so that these players get better exposure. I feel like you don't need to be a certain age to open or to be selected for national team. What you need is more exposure, and that is what exactly what these players deserve from the system. They need to play against better oppositions. They need to play against tougher conditions for them to get better, for them to improve. So I feel like Masadakat, incredible talent. Saad Masood did so amazing. I think the way he stepped up in the knockout games is, it should be appreciated. So I feel like these players, what they deserve is they need to be polished further, and they need more exposure in lesser pressure environment, if that makes any sense.
Well, certainly. Stay with us, Brashna. I'm going to come back to you. But now this pathway is very important to manage. I know there are a lot of people who want certain people to be drafted immediately into the side. But then again, we have to realize that then the exit happens even quicker than the selection. So, I mean, let them mature a bit maybe on the domestic front.
As a batsman, I always wanted a mature batsman to, come into the team and find his spot. And we have got a number of examples from Australia, from other parts of the world, where a mature batsman can stay long, has got the ability to see what the pressure is, because this is just one tournament where the final has gone to the super over. I guess as a batsman, you have to play a number of these sort of tournaments where you are there till the very last ball to face all the music happening around you. So most probably for the batter, I always believe a mature batter is much more effective, and a spinner, a mature spinner is much more effective in international arena. But as far as the fast bowler is concerned, I still believe on the raw pace of a fast bowler, and let the international cricket teach him how to go about his business. And we used to say, all these raw fast bowlers can make debut in home series.
But it's about obsessions. We've had obsession with fast bowlers. Now we've come with a new obsession of mystery spinners. So now we think that, the likes of Sufyan obviously was into the side prematurely, but then he left the side. He's now slotted to make a comeback in the World Cup. Saad Masood is being talked about a lot. Sadakat, with his ability to bat, yes, but he can bowl as well. So we have this new obsession now of playing as many spinners as we can into the game.
Because we are obsessed with T20 cricket, and that is it. When we talk about T20 cricket, it's not about getting wickets. It's about putting those right balls in right areas and let the batter do all those, mistakes where the bowler can take that wicket. And this is what mystery spinners do. How many of these mystery spinners are comfortable playing Test cricket? None of them, because we've seen Rashid Khan struggle. We've seen Kuldeep Yadav struggle even today against the likes of Marco Jensen, for that matter. He was batting at number 9 for that matter. So all those mystery spinners are there to put the ball and let not a batter guess the trajectory of it or the spin on it, and that is it. This is the only mantra they have got. So yes, when we are obsessed with T20 cricket, we are obsessed with all those mystery spinners. We wanted them to be part of our side because historically we have won all those T20 in the very early stages of the T20 international cricket with all those spinners. We have got Shahid Afridi, who was unplayable at that time. Then we have got Hafiz against the left-handers, then joined the Saeed Ajmal in 2009. These 12 overs are secure, and then joined by Omar Gul, the Gul Yorker, anything you said, that was the 16 overs which was secure quite. And then Sohail Tanveer, a left-arm mystery fast bowler. So this is what our team was.
Absolutely, and I think this is something that we banked on as well. But I think it's not the only thing that we have to talk about. Pakistan senior team won against Zimbabwe as well with the Usman Tariq hat-trick. Then we won in snooker. I mean, there is a certain gentleman from, I shouldn't say gentle though, but across the border who often likes to ask Pakistanis how their Sunday is going. So I thought we should just tell him that our Sunday was great, man. We won everything. We won the Rising Star Asia Cup. We won the senior team match. We also won the snooker championship as well. I wonder how your Sunday went. I think 400 plus runs by South Africa. So, I mean, that is just something on a lighter side. But let's do talk about the senior side. Brashna Usman Tariq, brilliant. Once again, we talk about another name that can be included for Pakistan's World Cup squad.
I feel like Usman Tariq, his performance was exceptional for Pakistan and also one of the most defining moments for the game. I think it was his hat trick that changed the course of the match and that, where eventually Pakistan won the game. I think he was brilliant with the ball and the way, Pakistan won the game eventually with very comfortably. I think credit goes to, again, the spinners, Usman Tariq and Mohammad Nawaz.
Well, how would you define Pakistan's batting now that seems to be a bit better? Especially, I think Babar Azam was brilliant, looks to be back in rhythm as well. But Sahibzada Farhan has been leading that batting single-handedly.
Definitely. I feel like even previously when I appeared on the show, I talked about, how Pakistan top order needs to step up. And I am so glad to see how Sahibzada Farhan has been doing in the past two games. I think that his performance against Sri Lanka first and then, against Zimbabwe yesterday, it was brilliant. It was beautiful. His partnership with Babar Azam, I think that really set the foundation for Pakistan's total. Babar was being Babar at best, I would say. I feel that was a classic Babar performance. He started off slow, but then he did give Pakistan a good score. I felt my favorite part of the innings was, I would say, Fakhar Zaman. I mean, we've all been fans of Fakhar Zaman at the top, but I absolutely am loving Fakhar Zaman down the order as well. I feel like he stepped up really well. His cameo in the final over set the tone for Pakistan. It gave Pakistan innings the boost it needed. So yeah, I've no complaints with the batting unit this time.
Absolutely. I think for the first time now we're spoiled for choices in the spin department, Brashna. I mean, I was just wondering today, who do we play now? Do we play Abrar, do we play Usman, or do we play both of them? Because we have Nawaz as well, we've got Saim bowling. So I think for the first time we're happy that at one point we were saying we can't find spinners and now we've got 4 to 5 of them.
Way more than that. I feel like not just in the current national squad, even the Shaheens that we just talked about, I feel like Sufyan Makin would deserve a spot in the squad as well. So I'm happy that Pakistan's spin department is sorted out for sure because they are performing in, when it matters, not just in group matches, but, for all the games. Pakistan has been so consistent, and the courtesy definitely goes to the spinners.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Brashna, for us on the scoreboard.
Thank you.
Right, that was our sports correspondent who was joining us. Brashna, of course, highlighted Pakistan's victory at the Rising Star Asia Cup for Shaheens and then also the senior team as well. But a new mystery has been unlocked. I mean, now we're talking about Usman Tariq, Kashif, but I was just wondering, I'm going to be a bit of the devil's advocate that, so far throughout his career, he's not faced a batter that has really challenged him. So I think once that happens, we'll see the real Usman Tariq. But even from his post-match press talk, looked very confident, spoke very well, very mature cricketer.
Very mature. I've played him and it's not easy to pick. Although when we played, he was quite new because he hails from Wakend or somewhere, and we played in a match in a tournament. So we were unaware of his mysteries at that point of time. So even then I just thought of playing sweep shot against him, horizontal bat shot, and it was successful. So going past into the future and finding out Usman Tariq playing all in Sri Lanka against the likes of some quality batters, it can be a jigsaw puzzle for them to sort out because Usman Tariq will be new for them. But again, for Pakistani lineup to fit Usman in with Abrar is already there and Mohammad Nawaz is in the form of his life, it will be a difficult task because we do talk about those left arm spins of Sufyan Mukim and Qasim. Most probably they are also being the contenders, and then now Maaz Sadakat with his all-round exploit. So there are a number of contenders. Fitting in Usman Tariq like, I guess coming PSL will be one of those tournaments where we can actually judge the performance of all those guys who've been contenders for the Pakistan.
Or find a new one.
Or find a new one, yes. Even finding a new one. This mystery spinners T20 slot or this mystery spinners pathway to the T20 is now becoming very, very easy for me, because even playing club cricket these days, I could find one or two mystery spinners trying to be a mystery spinner in the nets these days, and every off spinner have thought that their days are over, so let's become a mystery spinner, and they are trying these days. So yes, PSL, this coming PSL will find
So that means a lot of them now are going to try to copy Usman's action.
Usman's action, Rashid Khan's action, and all.
I've already seen a bit of Rashid Khan's in club cricket now.
Yes, there are a number of even 2 days earlier.
And I'll highlight a very interesting. I was playing for my club way back when Islamabad Cricket League was at its peak in our regional tournament. So at that time, the world saw Fidel Edwards. So I started seeing a lot of Fidel Edwards in club cricket with that slingy action. And then, Malinga came. And so those obsessions stay there with youngsters.
Those obsessions are made by the fact that there is a shortest route to the PSL or franchise cricket where the money comes from. So this is where now all those guys who wanted to be mystery spinner, they know every team, every second franchise, and now 2 more franchises added to the PSL. Every franchise will be looking for those mystery spinners to be part of their squad. Quetta has got 2 with Abrar and Usman Tariq, and other, Rashid Khan was instrumental in Lahore Qalandar's success over the years. So yes, teams are looking for those mystery spinners, but the shelf life of those mystery spinners, that is a question mark.
Well, we can call you a mystery spinner as well, because sometimes those deliveries become mystery, or sometimes when will you ball becomes a mystery as well. So I think both cases are correct.
Yeah, when will I bowl, that is a mystery coming from directly from the brain of the captain. So I'm not sure when will I bowl, but bowling those off spinners and some of them going straight, that can be a mystery. And
sometimes when the captain will bowl, that's a mystery, and we want the captain to bowl. But thank you very much, Kashif Majeed, for joining us. I think, of course, we've highlighted our segment for cricket and giving you all the details as well. We're going to be moving on to something very interesting right after a short break, because when we come back, we have lots more on the scoreboard. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the scoreboard. From cricket, it's onwards to football now, and there's lots to discuss, be it the Saudi Pro League or the English Premier League as well. We'll be giving you all the details now. Of course, joining us first of all in studios happens to be sports analyst Muhib Khan. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you, Muhib?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much for joining us. And of course, also joining us is sports expert Ali Abbas. Assalamu alaikum, Ali. How are you?
Walaikum Assalam, Ahmed. My team has lost 6 out of 7 games, so I'm not that good.
I understand, but you were asking me about a bicycle kick the other day. I mean, I'll give you one more to talk about, Cristiano Ronaldo this time.
The man does not age. The man does not age, and clearly there's an added motivation in terms of how he's playing with the World Cup right around the corner. I know you can say a lot about the quality of the Saudi Pro League, but no goalkeeper was saving that. Whether it was the Premier League, whether it was La Liga, whether it was Serie A. So once again, a lot of credit to Cristiano Ronaldo, and just hoping he remains fit for the World Cup, because what a tournament it would be to have him as well as Messi playing, and maybe just playing against one another as well. What a match that would be.
Absolutely. Muhib, we have to talk about this factor that Ali Abbas has just mentioned. A lot of the football world wants to know how long he can continue for. Now, for the first time, he's been very vocal that the World Cup is certainly probably the curtain to his career there. But 954 goals still manages
Everyone would like to see him score 1,000. Like, the man is phenomenal. He started in early 2000s and still he scores as if he is 24 in his prime. Like, the other day, people talked about Scott McTominay's bicycle kick, and they said that his ones was better than Cristiano's 2018 Champions League one. But in my view, he broke everything. He just silenced all haters.
But it's very interesting, Muhib, to understand a lot of people from the football world were very skeptical about his move to Saudi Arabia. And they thought that probably this career is now done and dusted. But he continues to be the talk of media outlets all around the world.
Yeah, it's like, whenever you move out of the top 5 leagues as a European player, it definitely is a step down. In my view, Saudi Pro League is a much better league than MLS and even the Eredivisie of Netherlands and other leagues in the top 5, because there are teams which are competitive. If you look at Al Hilal, they've got a very balanced team. Milankovic, Savic, they used to have Neymar, but now Marshall and very good players, Al Ittihad, Kante and Benzema, Karim Benzema. There are teams which can compete. It's not a cakewalk. Yes, Ronaldo is like farming golden balls for fun, but it is competitive. So the thought that it is a small league, Messi is also playing in the MLS. He's bossing it there as well. But in my view, the Saudi Pro League isn't the only thing which, like, it's in the small league, because Ronaldo also the top scorer of the UEFA Nations League top division. And there were players like Lamine Yamal playing in that league also, and he was miles behind him. He owned Yamal.
Certainly. I think Lamine Yamal is another debate we'll leave for another day. There have been a lot of memes that have been coming up of Lamine Yamal as well. But Ali Abbas, how would you define this? As Muhib has said as well, you know, he's rated it as amongst the top leagues as well. There was a lot of talk when, you know, let's just understand why Cristiano moved to Saudi Arabia as well. And at that time, you know, there was a lot of hue and cry that he's probably done and dusted. He's going to remain under the shadows. But the man continues to be the talk of the town. In the past 1 month, from his being the very first billionaire in football, to him being invited at the White House to the state dinner, then to the Oval Office personally, then of course going on from there to having a personal conversation with Donald Trump, the US president, then from there onwards being talked about as the, you know, top goal scorers, and then the bicycle kick.
Yeah, no, I was like, listen, if there's one thing that you and I can agree upon regarding Ronaldo is the fact that he loves being the center of attention. And coming to the end of his Manchester United stint, he was no longer the center of the attention. He wasn't the player that the team was centered around. And he wanted a new challenge where A, he was being paid enough, B, it was a new project, and C, he was going to be the face of the project. But what I think, and maybe Mohib will agree with me, is that the fact that he moved to Saudi now, he plays throughout the year in very warm weather conditions. And warm weather conditions allow you to recover a lot quickly than maybe if you were playing in the Premier League or the Serie A. Which is why most of the players, when they're getting injured in the Premier League, they move to Dubai to train in this part of the world to recover more properly. Say whatever you want, whether the league is competitive or not, that's a different debate. I still feel like the European leagues are a lot more competitive because of how the crowds are involved as compared to Saudi, where it's more of a festival till now, with all due respect. But I think the fact that he's played in these conditions, a lot warmer weather for the last 2 years, 2.5 years, has allowed his career to prolong maybe longer than he even expected. Which is why I think the only reason why he's playing this World Cup and he's as fit as he is and he can even score these bicycle kicks is because he has been playing in Saudi. That weather has allowed him to do so, and the World Cup is going to be taking place in the US as well, and that is going to be warm. You thoroughly covered the recent FIFA Club World Cup, and a lot of players complained about the heat. One player who's not going to complain about the heat in that World Cup is indeed Cristiano Ronaldo. And the other player who's not going to complain about the heat is Lionel Messi. So let's not forget that, because he's playing in the US. So I think that's a pretty interesting factor.
Certainly. I'm going to come back to you, Ali, with the Premier League in just a bit, but I have to ask Muhib this. Muhib, bigger question now is how Portugal are going to manage playing Cristiano Ronaldo in the World Cup.
I think Cristiano still starts for them. If we look at the other options, Goncalo Ramos, he is a bench player at PSG even. Like, Ronaldo has no competition in the striker position. And Ronaldo, there is no point in playing him at left wing. So around Ronaldo, there are a lot of good teammates. And if that man carried you for 10 years, then you can carry him for one tournament.
He's the only one I trust to play 90 minutes with full force.
Yes. And the USA will, as he told, that favor Ronaldo. Because there's a hot temperatures and people can also complain about in the Club World Cup. So I think this is Portugal's plus point. João Felix and Cristiano Ronaldo both played in the Saudi Pro League, and in those hot conditions, yes, it is there are less chances of you having injuries, but also it is very scorching to play in those conditions. So I think Ronaldo would be a great shout for playing at the World Cup. He proved that in the Nations League as well. He scored against big teams, not only against small teams. And I think, as Simpsons predicted as well, there will be a Portugal final.
Well, he's gone to Simpson predictions now, so I think it gets interesting. But Ali Abbas, now the Premier League, Arsenal clinical, beat Tottenham once again. You know, this season, once again, they've been the talk of the town for the Premier League.
They are, and I think they have been for a while, especially after the first international break. I mean, if you look at it in hindsight, no one really expected Tottenham to get anything out of that game, and Arsenal were just going to be a bit too strong. But they're facing Chelsea next, and yeah, like everyone is going to call them the favorites. But if you have a certain Manchester City right behind you on your back chasing you, then it's always going to go down to the wire. And I still feel like it's going to be Manchester City that are going to go all the way. And a couple of results, if they go in Manchester City's favor, they will win just because of the fact that Arsenal still struggle from open play. One of the reasons that they were able to score versus Tottenham was simply because of how Tottenham were set up and they were allowing Arsenal to just sort of play through them. Any team that sets up nicely, like Sunderland a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal do have problems scoring against them because when it comes to them, it's pretty similar to how they were last year. And Gyökeres is more of a Darwin Núñez type of player who I respect because he's going to run around a lot and put a lot of pressure. But relying on an attacking midfielder to score all of your goals, there will be games that they're going to go blank. So yeah, a part of me still feels like Manchester City have a strong chance, but fair play to Arsenal. They're at the peak of the process, and if they win, then they are going to be deserving champions, and we just have to hold our hearts up and just appreciate what Mikel Arteta has been able to do in the last 5 to 6 years.
Well, I'm always there for you. I've always been beside you as well. Would you like a moment to talk about your team and your problems?
Well, first of all, it's extremely infuriating to see what's happening, but like something that I do like to tell a lot of Liverpool fans is that even Jurgen Klopp, the season when we won the Premier League, after that we struggled badly and went on this run where we lost 5 consecutive games at home, and then the season after we challenged for the quadruple and ended up losing the Champions League final and the Premier League to Manchester City. We finished 6th or maybe 5th in the Premier League. So this is not the first time it's happening. The only problem that I see over here is that I'm not seeing much improvement. I'm seeing exactly the same things happening again. This Liverpool team is a very good team, and they showed that against Real Madrid, because if any team plays with less intensity, tries to play football a lot more, tries to pass a lot more, tries to avoid the long balls, Liverpool just completely dismantle them. On the other hand, if it's a team that's playing like maybe Nottingham Forest did or Aston Villa did, a game that we won, but that was 50-50 in my opinion, or any other team that is playing a low block, then Liverpool are struggling. This is exactly the same problem we had last season. This is the same problem we have this season. And it feels like Arne Slot does not have an answer to this. And if you do not have an answer to this particular question, then you cannot succeed in the Premier League, because the teams are very, very difficult, physical, and set up nicely to make sure they don't concede a goal and just hit you on one of the counter attacks. And it's repeating again and again, and it's a difficult watch for any Liverpool fan.
Well, certainly. We will talk about Arsenal, Muhib, but a bit about Liverpool that you can identify first.
I think Arne Slot needs to play with his tactics now. He's got 2 strikers at the club, and those 2 are absolutely phenomenal. You know all about Alexander Isak, and he has done it in the Prem. And also, I think Hugo Ekitike, he's much better than Alexander Isak in my point of view.
Certainly.
In my point of view. And Liverpool really need to change their tactics. Salah isn't the Salah it used to be. Without Luis Diaz's service, they aren't Liverpool right now. The Liverpool isn't Liverpool which was in 2022. So we can say that Arne Slot needs to change it 100%, his tactics. The tactics which were in last year, they won't work here again, because I know that Salah can score the goals if he can get the service. Right now there's no one to give him service, not Gakpo, Hugo Ekitike. He can't do the playmaking. He has to score goals. That's his job which he is doing. The thing is that Szoboszlai used to be an average player in people's point of view, and right now he's the best Liverpool player. So they need to think about that.
And Arsenal?
They played phenomenally.
They did.
They are title contenders, but we can't say it 100% because Arsenal always bottles the Premier League.
It's always their league to lose, no one else.
Like in the last 4 years, they have accumulated the most points in the Prem and still haven't won even a single one. What I would say about Spurs is that they were very uncertain. Thomas Frank changed his tactics at halftime. He was playing a 3 at the back when he started the match. And then when things weren't working out, he subbed out Danso and brought on Pedro Porro as right back. They've shifted to a 4 at the back again. So I think Spurs should play their best players. They shouldn't try new things. What is working, they should work with it. Like Pedro Porro, Van de Ven, you can use them to counter forward. And then even though Van de Ven is a centre back, but I think Xavi Simons needs to be respected and played in his conventional 10.
The
number
fans
10.
have been really upset about this as well. They've been very vocal about this fact.
Like when you use Xavi Simons, you use him in all the wrong positions. You should use him as a conventional number 10. That's what he is. That was what he was at PSG. That's what he was at RB
And that's
Leipzig.
where more success came from him as well.
Luis Openda used to get service from him, and RB Leipzig was a serious contender when Xavi Simons was playing there. He was one of their best players.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Muhib, for joining us as well, and thank you very much to Ali Abbas for joining us for our segment of football. Now, before we go, we've got certain updates to share with you. First of all, from the world of tennis, the Davis Cup, Italy have been crowned the champions as they lift the title for the third time as well. They were absolutely brilliant, Matteo Berrettini and Caboli, when it mattered the most as well, as they defeat their Spanish opponents as well. And I think Luca Caboli has been in prime form as well, alongside Matteo Berrettini. Of course, this was a final that dearly missed the rivalry of Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, but unfortunately, this is the way it was as well. Italy, of course, would be very, very I think, satisfied with this result, but congratulations to them for lifting the Davis Cup title for a third time in a row. Then, of course, we give you the latest updates from Formula One as well. We have to talk about Lewis Hamilton and how disappointed he has been, especially after the Las Vegas as well. I think the fact still remains that Ferrari, his move from Mercedes to Ferrari as well, I think it was something that was always debated upon as well. And him saying this is probably, not just frustration, but calling it the worst season ever. Likely so, because he's disappointed with the kind of technical hardware that he's been given as well. I think we all knew the kind of problems Ferrari possesses, and not to improve on them as far as Lewis Hamilton is concerned, I think is having a championship driver and not being able to give him the resources he wants is absolutely criminal. And then, of course, some quality news for Pakistan, where Pakistan has won the IBSF Snooker World Cup team event as Ashraf Iqbal and his teammate Mohammad Asif for Pakistan defeated their opponents from Hong Kong in a stunning fashion. They were 2-1 down, but they came back very, very strongly to win 3-2. They, of course, made a 100 break. Mohammad Asif, of course, a 100 break to win one frame initially, and then, of course, Asjad also made a 104 break in the deciding final frame to seal the set as well, with the margin going 104-0 in the final frame as well. The win also adding to Asif's stellar career. It's now a 7th world title combined with team and individual as well. So congratulations to Mohammad Asif, congratulations to Ashraf Iqbal, and congratulations to Pakistan. That's it from this edition of The Scoreboard. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.